Good morning and welcome to exam review. This is problem number 59. Okay. Two a minus 10 over a squared minus 9. They want us to find the excluded values. Please remember the excluded values deal with the denominator only. So we factor the denominator. The denominator is a squared minus 9. A squared minus 9 is the difference of two squares. So a squared minus 9, both terms are perfect squares, factors as a plus 3 times a minus 3. You factor a plus 3 equals 0, a minus 3 equals 0, and you get two solutions, positive 3 and negative 3. Number 60. Again, find the excluded values. 4a minus 4 over a squared minus 2a minus 15. So we factor the denominator. It's a trinomial, so we're going to x factor it. What multiplies to negative 15 and at the same time adds to negative 2? Negative 5 and 3. We zipper it and we get two solutions, 3 and 5, and your answer is D. Does anyone have a question on number 60? Okay, 61. 61. Simplify each expression. 6c cubed n cubed over 27c squared n squared. So what we're going to do is prime factor 6 as 2 times 3, c cubed as c times c times c, and n cubed as n times n times n, over 27c squared n squared, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times c times n times n. We have a 3 that cancels, 2 c's that cancel, and 2 n's that cancel, which leaves us 2cn in the numerator and 3 times 3, or 9 in the denominator. So your answer is 2cn over 9, or answer B. Are there any questions on 61? 62. 8b over 6d times 6d cubed over 9b cubed. So we're going to prime factor 8b as 2 times 2 times 2 times b over 6d, 2 times 3 times d, times 6d cubed, 2 times 3 times d times d times d, over 9b cubed, 3 times 3 times b times b times b. And what's going to happen here is 1b is going to cancel with 1b. A 2 and a 3 are going to cancel. 1d is going to cancel, which leaves me 8d squared in my numerator over 9b squared, which is choice D. Now, number 63, we're going to divide. Please remember, divide to multiply, and you flip the second fraction. So 63 is going to look like this. 5 times a times a times a over 2 times 2 times 2 times k. Divide to multiply and flip it. So 8k squared will be on the top, which factors as 2 times 2 times 2 times k over 2 times a. And now we can have a canceling party. 3 2's and 3 2's. 1a and 1a, 1k and 1k, which leaves me 5a squared k in my numerator all over 2, which is choice C. So now we're going to switch gears. And that was actually chapter 12. Now we're going to switch gears and we're going into chapter 10, which is statistics. So this is chapter 10, which was stats. And so here we go. Number 64, they want you to find the range. By definition, the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest. The highest number was 48, the lowest was 6, so the range was 42, or choice C. 65, find the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So they were already in order for us. You have to find the median. The median of this set of data was 36. The lower quartile is the median of the lower half. The upper quartile is the median of the upper half. The lower quartile has two middle numbers, so you would add them together and divide by 2, which gives me a lower quartile of 21. The upper quartile has two middle numbers, both of which are 56. So the upper quartile is 56. And the correct answer there is choice A. 65 is A. 66. They want you to draw a box and whisker plot. A box and whisker plot. So the minimum value is 3.2. The maximum value is 78.8, and your median is 23.3. So here we go, and we draw our box, which is from our lower quartile to our upper quartile, which is the interquartile range. Then we drop a line at the median, and then from the lower quartile, we draw a line to the lowest number in our data, and from the upper quartile, from the high to the highest number in our data set, which is choice C. So I'm going to refer you back to 66 to go back to chapter 10, and you can look up again on writing a box and whisker plot. 67. Find the mean, median, and mode of Anthony's math scores. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, so we had to find the mean, and I'm sorry because I didn't work this one out, so let me work it for you now. To find the mean, you are going to add them all up. 90 plus 91 plus 72 plus 91 plus 92 plus 92 plus 91 plus 90 plus 90 plus 91. Let's make sure I didn't leave any out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I left one out. 72, 91. There should be one more 92. And when you divide that by 11, your mean is 89.3. Your mode is the number that appears most often, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4 91s, so your mode was 91. And your median, to find the median, we had to list them in order from least to greatest, and your middle number is also 91. Number 68. Find the mean, median, and mode for the data set. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, so let me just go ahead and try to put these. Can someone help me on 68? Does somebody already have them in order for me? Because that'll help me out. Anybody have 68 in order? Hello? $5.7. Is it in order for me? 5.7. It's already in order. Okay, so it was in order for you. So it was 5.7, 5.8, 5.9, 6.2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5 times? Yes? Yeah. Then 6.3. then 6.4 twice, then 6.6, 8.8, 9.6, 9.8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15. So the median here, or your middle number, is 6.2. Your mode is the number that appears the most, which is 6.2 because it appears 5 times. So, and then your mean you add them all up and divide by, I think it was 15. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 by 15, and that gave me a mean or an average of 6.8. Okay, number 69. Here's another mean, median, and mode. And you know how to do these at this point, so I'm just going to give you the correct answers. 69. This is a different problem than we did, I believe. Let me just check something. Just stay with me for a minute because this was a problem from last year. Let's skip down to 71. There we go. This time we had a line plot that we had to find the mean, median, and mode on. And then, again, just for time's sake, I'm not going to go over how to find the mean, median, and mode every single time. We all know that the mean is the average. You add all of the numbers up, and you divide by the number in the set. The median is the middle number. If there are 2 middle numbers, you are to add them together and divide by 2. And the mode is the number that appears most often. And there were 2 modes, which made this 71. I believe 71 was choice C. Is that correct? Yes, 71 was choice C. All right, 72 and 73, I just want to spend a little bit of time on. Please remember SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA, S stands for sine, which is the opposite over the hypotenuse. C stands for cosine, which is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And T stands for tangent, which is the opposite over the adjacent. So this might be helpful for you. Guys, all that other stuff that we did with sine, cosine, and tangent, you don't have to worry about it. It's not on the test. This is the only thing on the exam. This is the only thing that I'm testing. If I say to you, if you have these 2 sides, which trig function would you use? Please believe me. If it's not on here, it's most likely it's not on the exam. There may be 1 or 2 questions out of 70, which would be a lot, okay? So let's go ahead and just get a reference point here. So that's my right angle. Side A and side B are called the legs, correct? Are the legs of a right triangle. Side C is called the hypotenuse. We had 3 fun facts about the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side. It's the slanted side. And it's the side opposite the right angle. So, let's call this guy angle B. Angle A, excuse me, angle B. And here's angle C. So if I wanted to find the sine of angle A, how would I find the sine of angle A? Which 2 sides do I need here? Anybody? Yes. The opposite and the hypotenuse, which would be what letters? Lowercase letters. Opposite of angle A with A over C. If I wanted to find the cosine of angle A, which 2 sides do I need? So, adjacent over hypotenuse. What's the adjacent side to angle A? B. What's the hypotenuse? C. And if I want to find the tangent of angle A, which two sides do I need? Opposite over adjacent, which would be side A over B. So let's look at the questions on 72 and 73. 72 says, if you know the measure of both legs, which trigonometric ratio would you use? Well, it has nothing to do with the hypotenuse, so that's the first context clue that I have. The next thing I know is I know that sine and cosine both deal with hypotenuse. Tangent is the only one that does not have hypotenuse in its trigonometric ratio, so that would deal with both legs, which typically would be side A and B. And then probably the reason you got another question similar to that is because I put the other questions on the final. So I tried very hard not to repeat a question from the practice final to the real final. If you are using the tangent ratio, which sides of the right triangle are given to you? And again, it has nothing to do with hypotenuse. So choice A makes no sense. The adjacent and the hypotenuse. Wrong. Choice C makes no sense. It's the Pythagorean theorem. Wrong answer. And choice D, the opposite side and the hypotenuse. Again, the correct answer is the measure of both legs. Does anyone still have a question on numbers 59 through 73? Something that I can enlighten you with? Yes? On number 70, let's see which 70 I have here. 70, find the mean, median, and mode. This is the correct problem. The answer was A, correct? Yes. Do you need me to do it? Yes. Okay. So let's just go over here and let's go ahead and find a spot. And could you please read me the data in order from least to greatest? What is it? 24, 27, 28, 32, 38. Okay. So the median would be 28, correct? Yes? Is there a mode? No mode. Okay, and what's the mean? So the mean, you have to add them all up. So you would add up 24 plus 27 plus 28 plus 32 plus 38 and divide by 5. Okay, so let me do it to make sure. Do you have your calculations in front of you? 24. Why don't you do it again? Plus 27 plus 28 plus 32. It's easy to hit a wrong number. I get 149 divided by 5. I get 29.8. So I have a mean of 29.8. I have a median of 28, and I have no mode. And then it says which one best describes it. So we need 29.8, 28, and none. So the only one there would be choice A. Does that make sense now? All right. Anybody else have a question? All right, guys, thanks for listening. This again was Chapter 10 and Chapter 12. A quick review. Have a blessed day. Stay tuned for more fun.